Kunja Vihari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev Sripad, Gurudev Sripad. Jai Guru Maharaj Shila Sripad ki Jai. Jagat Guru Shila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai. Shri Lakshmi Narasimhadev Bhagavan ki Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki Jai. Jai Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki Jai ho. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayam Udiraye.
Tato Jayamudiraye.
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 16, text number 6. Yatha vastuni panyani
Yada vastuni panyani
hemadini tatastataha
hemadini tatastataha
paryatanti nareshvayevam
paryatanti nareshvayevam
jivo yonishu kartrushu.
jivo yonishu kartrushu.
Translation: just as gold and other commodities are continually transferred from one place to another in due course of purchase and sale, so the living entity, as a result of his spiritual activities, wanders throughout the entire universe, being injected into various bodies in different species of life by one kind of father after another. Purport: it was already been explained that Chitrakesu's son was his enemy in a past life and had now appeared as his son just to give him more severe pain. Indeed, the untimely death of the son caused severe lamentation for the father. One may put forward the argument: if the king's son was his enemy, How could the king have such affection for him? In answer, the example is given that when someone's wealth falls into the hands of his enemy, the money becomes enemy's friend. Then the enemy can use it for his own purpose. Indeed, he can even use it to harm its previous owner. Therefore, the money belongs neither to the one party nor to the other. The money is always money, but in different situations, it can be used as an enemy or as a friend. As explained in Bhagavad Gita, it is not by any father or mother that the living entity is given his birth. The living entity is a completely separate identity from the so-called father and mother. By the laws of nature, the living entity is forced to enter the semen of the father and be injected into the womb of the mother. He is not in control of selecting what kind of father he will accept. Prakrute kriyamanani. The laws of nature force him to go to different fathers and mothers, just like a consumer commodity that is purchased and sold. Therefore, the so-called relationship of father and son is an arrangement of prakriti or nature. It has no meaning, and therefore it is called illusion. The same living entity sometimes takes shelter of an animal father and other animal father and mother, and sometimes a human father and mother. Sometimes he accepts a father and mother among the birds, and sometimes he accepts a demigod father and mother. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore says, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bija. So nice Nagar Sankirtan is going on. Some devotees are doing. Harassed life after life by the laws of nature, the living entity wanders throughout the entire universe in different planets and different species of life. Somehow or other, if he is fortunate enough, he comes in touch with a devotee who reforms his entire life. Then the living entity goes back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, it is said, Janame Janame Sabe Pita Mata Paye. Krishna Guru Nahi Mile Baja Hari. In the transmigration of the soul through different bodies, everyone in every form of life, be it human, animal, tree, or demigod, gets a father and mother. This is not very difficult. The difficulty is to obtain a bona fide spiritual master and Krishna. Therefore, the duty of a human being is to capture the opportunity to come in touch with Krishna's representative, the bona fide spiritual master. Under the guidance of spiritual master, the spiritual father, one can return home back to Godhead. Jai. Bhaktivedanta purports ki jai ho. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swarupa Damodara Swami Niti Namine Nama Sadbhakta Manaye Manipur Udbhavaya Cha Prabhupada Sadvani Prachara Nirtayate. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine Yadha Vastuni Panyani Hemadini Tatastataha Paryatanti Nareshva Evam Jiva Yoneshu Kartrashu. So this episode of Chitraketu is giving such a wonderful lesson, such a practical lesson. such a clarity about our journey, such an enlightenment of the deepest secret of our existence. We cannot underestimate the power of this chapter, this episode, to the effect of the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. If one carefully meditates on this episode, one is sure to obtain enlightenment. This chapter is so direct to the point. And if you're fortunate enough to notice the super excellent position of this episode in the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, nowhere it is so clearly and so elaborately and so practically shown to us about the secret of our journey. Even we don't know the secret of our journey. That is our situation. Just like our Goswamis have prayed to Mahaprabhu that Mahaprabhu, people think that I am a great Pandita, I am a great learned person, but I am such an ignorant person. I am in such a difficult situation that I do not know who I am. So this is the greatest tragedy of human life. So the tragedy of human life is one passes as a learned person, but without knowing the ABCD of spiritual life. So the A of ABCD is to understand who I am. So without this understanding, without this basic knowledge about myself, I am being passed, I am being celebrated as the most learned person. So this is the greatest tragedy. And this episode is enlightening about us. It is not fine. It is not giving us a finality about who we are, but it is giving the tragedy of who I am, the tragedy of what I think about what I am. And this tragedy is the root cause of all other tragedies in our life. All other tragedies. Because even the so called great achievement in this life, uh, it only remains as a tragedy. Or the greater the achievement, the greater the tragedy. Because the greater one forgets about the true nature of oneself. And our journey is compared, our relationships are compared here as vastuni, yatha vastuni panyani, hemadini tatastataha, paryatanti nareshva evam, jiva yonishu kartrashu. What a sloka. If you can remember this once in a day, you can remember it by heart and remember once in a day. We are the commodity. We are the commercial commodity like gold, meant for trading. Panyani, meant for trading. And who is trading? We are all trading together, one another. That is the summary of our whole material relationships. Trading one another. Just like Hemadini, just as gold. From here to there, right? Gold. Gold, everybody is interested in gold. So therefore what happens? It goes from here to there, there to another place. Similarly, we ourselves are this commodity and our relationships are the commodity. Why? Because of our consciousness. These relationships have become only a means to obtain something higher commodity, that is my sense gratification. That is my karma, to satisfy my desires. Not only that, from one life to another, we are moved around. We also move around our relationships even in this life, just like commodities, just like tools, commercial tools. Whatever is working, I will do with it. There is nothing more than that. This is how things are going on, and that's why people remain depressed. They treat those things which are not to be treated as a commercial commodity as commercial commodity. Our relationships, who I am, whom I relate with, the foundations of our existence, our very nature of the basic nature of the soul, that relationship with the Lord and other living entities, that has been converted into the commercial commodity. That is our greatest tragedy. And all this is because we have forgotten our real nature, our real Father. The situation can be described as a son, as a disobedient son, or a selfish son, or an uncultured son who rejects the service of his parents and goes out to the society to pose himself as a great gentleman and great person. We can hardly expect any tangible relationship with such a person. It is only a matter of time he also ditches other people. It is only a matter of time because it's just a commodity. As long as I am getting what I want, I keep the relation. Immediately I break it. This is our original disease. Kama Rupam Durasadam. This lust. This lust is covering our real identity and real nature and converting us, each one of us, into a commercial commodity. And even our relationships are converted to commercial commodity. So therefore, what can you expect from somebody who escapes the service of his parents for his selfish sense gratification in the form of Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim, and Kavitam? Some people are leaving their parents, going far, far places just to earn money and then forgetting. Some people are very busy collecting followers. Some people, after getting married, uh, so they forget their parents in pursuit of marital bliss, or even the marital relationship sometimes is given up for some other extramarital affairs. and then kavitam. Then he gives up all relationships in pursuit of that coveted, distinguished position in the society. So this greatest enemy is our lust. Lust is our being grounded in our sense enjoyment, mind and senses. So such a person, we cannot expect any tangible relationship from such a person. Similarly, one who has given up the relationship with his eternal father Krishna, we can hardly expect any meaningful relationship, because such a person is determined, made made his relationships as a commodity. It is already it is his mode of operation is commercial commodity. So therefore, this commercialization of relationship is going on from time eternally. So therefore, according to, because then everybody is a businessman, then the Lord and the demigods, they have to manage everybody's desires. So therefore, we are continuously put from one body to another body, from one other father to another mother to another mother, one mother to another mother. Just like the government regulates the trade, there is competition commission to make sure that one person doesn't monopolize everything. Everyone is gets their equal share according to their hard work. So similarly, the demigods and the Lord, the demigods are like competition commission. Make sure that one person doesn't monopolize all sense gratification. Everybody gets their share. Everybody gets their business. So therefore, we are put into the wombs of various mothers, and we continue our business. So we should carefully think about our situation. It has become a commodity. Many people complain, do not objectify women, do not objectify this, do not objectify that. But our very grounding in is objectification of everything, every relationship. So therefore, that consciousness is always flickering from one need to another need, one business to another business. When one business fails, start another business, another business. So in the same way, the relationships are the same. Break one relationship and make another relationship. This is the fabric of material life. This is the fabric of business of our life. So therefore, we derive our sense pleasure or sense displeasure from the same very business. And here the Chitraketu's son, he was an enemy in the past life, and he appeared as his son just to give him the maximum pain. So we are cheated at our own game. We are defeated in our own game. Or we will say we were given the uh, giving our own medicine. We are made to eat our own medicine or our own game. So we have made these relationships as a commercial commodities. So therefore, the very same relationships are uh, playing with us too. Same game. We commercialize, commoditize these relationships, and in the process, we ourselves we become the commodity. And how we are thrown from one species to another species. So, and depending on where we are situated, according to our past misdeeds or good deeds, we act as friendly or as enemy to one another. So therefore, one if unless one comes to the platform of Krishna consciousness, there is no stopping of this objectification or commoditizing relationships. And where we supposed to get the highest happiness, that very thing becomes a business commodity. We have made it, and that causes our greatest lamentation. So as long as we continue this commercialization of relationships, we continue to undergo this tribulation in the material world from one body to another body. It will continue until we come to the platform of Krishna consciousness, until we are able to correct our course, until we are able to correct our mind, until we are able to correct our attitude to one that is Krishna conscious, to one that is devotional, to one that is noble, to one that is grounded in the eternal identity, to one that is grounded in the platform of spirit. Until then, we have to change our bodies. So never mind how far we have come in our practice, until this attitude is changed, there is no hope. There is no hope of being among the liberated souls of Lord Sri Krishna, among the devotees of Lord Sri Krishna in his eternal abode. So we will be thrown from here and there according to our commercialization, depending on our activity. We are put into zonal, different zones, different authorities, and we keep continuing, and we keep being defeated again and again in our endeavor to be happy, because one cannot be happy by commercializing the relationships. Commercializing means making and breaking relationships according to our convenience, without minding our eternal position, without minding our duty, without minding my responsibility. And the most deep breaking our relationship is with Lord Krishna. Our root, our root relationship is with Krishna. When we break that relationship, are not interested in that relationship, then commercialization has started, and everything is our game, commercial game going on. So it is the same, either in the material circles or in the spiritual circles. Unless our behavior in our relationships is not based on pleasing Krishna, pleasing other person, pleasing devotees, pleasing Sri Guru. Therefore, unless we come to that platform of constantly endeavoring to mold our activities to express, to please our Guru and Krishna, if we don't mold our activity, then we have to accept the body. Never mind, I got a pure devotee as a guru. Never mind, I have met Srila Prabhupada. Never mind, I am born. I have seen Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Never mind, I am born in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Or I am born initiated in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are all given an opportunity to come out of this commercialization. But Durdaiva Midrushamiha Janinanuraga. There is no, our misfortune is that there is no attraction to this life. There is an attraction to this noble life. There is an attraction to spiritual life. The life based on spiritual eternal relationship. So therefore, we become enemies and friends. And even in our devotional relationships, if our establishing relationship is not based on those higher principles, but based on what I get, then that relationship will also not be eternal. Because I am unable to establish the relationship based on Krishna consciousness. My relationship is only according to my comfort. So therefore, even that relationship is not going to be permanent because my mode of operation is not based on permanence. It is based on temporary gain. So therefore, in spite of we getting the association of pure devotee, in spite of we get association of the uh, devotees who are very serious, unless I make conscious effort to transform my mode of operation, my attitude, everything is temporary. All relationships are temporary. Because our destiny is guided by our desire. Our destiny is guided by our laulyam. What we are laulyam for? What we are greedy for? You see, greed is also a fundamental instinct of the soul. So therefore, what we are greedy for? Are we greedy to serve Guru and Krishna? Are we greedy to act in their eternal relationship to please them? Or am I greedy for something else? Even in that atmosphere. So therefore, our greed is our destination. Our greed is dictating our destination. One who is greedy to please one's Guru, his destination is Sri Guru. Means the destination is Lord Sri Krishna because Sri Guru is with Krishna. So it is up to us where we place our greed. I place my greed in my material and spiritual goals. Just like a just like we have career outside, we also have career inside the devotion. And we become very greedy also in the devotional career. Devotional career, there is only one devotional career, that is to please Sri Guru. How I can please? That is the only devotional career. But we make the paraphernalia of devotion as our career goals in spiritual journey. So therefore, we remain deprived of our what we are supposed to get, what is the best. And so therefore, we will be put in a place where those material and spiritual ambitions are fulfilled. And that also maybe keep changing because there are so many people also similarly ambitious. So therefore, we are commoditizing ourselves and we will be used like, as a commercial commodity because our attitude is commercial. So when our attitude is commercial, we ourselves will become a commercial commodity. That is the beauty. When our attitude become Krishna conscious, we become Krishnas. When our attitude become Sri Gurus, we become Sri Gurus. Sri Guru's servant. See, we are not in control of selecting our father and mother. The laws of nature force him to go to different fathers and mothers, just like a consumer commodity that is purchased and sold. This is the naked truth of our existence. We have to open our eyes and correct our course, correct the course of our greediness. Therefore, the so-called relationship of father and son is an arrangement of Prakriti. It has no meaning, and therefore it is called illusion. So therefore, we are wandering in this universe and got shelter at the servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is a great opportunity to transform my commercial attitude. So whether we make it or we break it is up to us. So janame janame sabab pita mata paya. Getting father and mother is very ordinary. Very, very ordinary. Every living being is getting father and mother. But what is extraordinary? Guru Krishna nahi mile. Krishna Guru nahi mile. Krishna Guru we won't get in every life. Therefore, Bhaja Hari. Therefore, Bhaja Hari, Bhaja Hari. Serve Guru and Krishna. Let us make determined. Let us change our course of our attitude. Let us change course of our activity. Let us change course of our goal of our life. Let us change our goals. Let us change our ambitions. Let us transform our relationships from material to spiritual. The same relationships, when we change our attitude, they will be spiritual. And that starts with changing our relationship with Guru and Krishna. So therefore, this episode is such a great blessing, such an eye opener. If somebody doesn't open his eyes after going through this chapter, he will not be able to open his eyes in any other chapter, any other episode. Such a blunt message is being given in this chapter, in this episode. It's for us. We have to catch this, and don't get lost in illusion, and serve our real fathers, real father, eternal father, spiritual master, spiritual father, and Krishna. We have to stop this commercializing ourselves and being played like football from one species to another species, one yoni to another yoni. We are played like football. We have made ourselves as a commodity. No one to blame. It's in our hands. We can spiritualize it. So then there is some meaning to our endeavor, our journey. This should be the constant endeavor. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Dhanavad Pranam. Yeah, it was a very nice class. If anyone is having any question regarding today's class, they can raise their hand. Yes, Balramji, please ask your question.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dhanavad Pranam. Very, very nice class as well as very nice bosses, as you pointed out. And it's also very nice that everything is given clearly. But one thing is not clear, how we are created. And because we don't have this clarity, that's why I think we have different divisions, the Mayavadis or the other class of people. They are coming into picture because this part is not very clear. Yeah, so maybe you could speak on that a little bit. But my question, actual question is, I mean, as you gave this or clarified this example of commodities, we are commodities and we are trading also the commodities. And the demigods, they are performing this role of administrators. They are like commissioners. Yeah. So, I mean, the common people, they give bribe to these commissioners to get their material benefit. And because of that, I mean, a large mass of people who are basically the demigod worshippers in this world, most of the people are demigod worshippers than, let's say, directly serving God. And because of that, they are stuck in this universe. They are not going. But I mean, can this be transformed to, let's say, because the demigods, they are administrators, instead of bribing them, they can be used to, directly connect to the God. Because I think this is possible, but why then in scriptures or anywhere or any spiritualists have not explored in this direction?
Thank you, Prabhuji. There are 2-3 questions inside this. First of all, what we spoke is not just for devotees, it is also for all transcendentalists. All paths, impersonal, personal. The yogis, the munis, the tapasvis, it is for everybody. The same. It is valid in that very path itself also. Number one. Number two, let us forget about all other transcendentalists. Let us fix ourselves first. We got the best method, we got the best lineage, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What are we doing? Have I stopped commercializing? Have I stopped commercializing my relationships? Am I acting on devotional platform? Am I able to give up my commercial attitude? We are talking more about within ourselves. The tragedy is that the key is given and put in our hands, but still we are not opening the doors of eternity. We are the keys are given to our hands. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, but we are not using them. We are not utilizing them. So this is about our own selves first. Right? Gauravan Maharaj said it takes gallons and gallons and gallons of blood to transform one soul. So please imagine, one soul is talking about the disciples. He's not talking about making a devotee. That also takes a lot of gallons of blood. But after one becomes a devotee, to transform him to proper spirit of Krishna consciousness, to proper etiquette and to proper mood and attitude takes gallons and gallons and gallons of blood. That means, please imagine how much deep rooted this commercialization of even material relationships, spiritual relationships. So we are talking about ourselves. If we transform, then we can help others. I myself am doing business, and how I can ask for donations from others for non-profit work, for the welfare work. I hide all my money in my bank and ask everybody else to donate. How that will help? Don't help. So we have to transform ourselves, our attitude. Then only we can transmit that attitude. Otherwise, transmitting just the theory is not great help. Transmitting the theory of Panchatattva, right? 5 truths in Bhagavad Gita. The Lord, the living entities, the karma, the nature, the time. So just passing this Panchatattva, theory of Panchatattva doesn't help. You have to pass the attitude. That means first we have to transform our attitude. Otherwise, our journey won't be complete. We will still remain incomplete, and we will still remain in the commercial realm. We will not come to the devotional realm. We are being initiated for the process, but we refuse to come out of that sphere. We refuse. Like we are given admission to school, we are the best school and everything, best teachers, but we refuse to go to school, or we go to school but don't want to pay attention in the class, don't want to listen to the teacher. So we remain, we continue to refuse the transformation. So we have to embrace ourselves first and imbibe the devotional attitude. Attitude is everything. Everything else is secondary and details. Attitude. It is Srila Prabhupada's attitude that is inspiring millions even today. It is the attitude of Sripad Maharaj, which is even inspiring the hard rocks, melting the rocks. So that attitude, how I can imbibe their attitude, what they are doing in the similar situations, and how I can promote myself to that behavior. I may not be that character, but by promoting my behavior to on that platform, then my character becomes like that. So we have to promote ourselves with careful deliberation. Otherwise, we will be hardly of any use to anybody. We will not be even useful to ourselves. Means we are useless to even ourselves. Then how will we be useful to others? So this is it. And as far as the demigods are concerned, that praying to them is not a bribe. Praying to them is a genuine option, genuine is a legal option given by Krishna. Na? When this creation was made, the Lord said, "Though be happy." He created demigods. He sent forth the demigods and living beings and demigods and said, "Though be happy by sacrifice." Hmm? Be happy doing your business, but properly. But still, it is a business. So this world is created for our business, to do business of the relationships. And Krishna said, "Be happy with your business. I am giving the demigods whatever you need. You pray and you get obtain legally." So be happy by doing your business with the demigods. So we have to make decision what we, we want to be happy. Hare Krishna. So we have to make decision. As Krishna blessed to be happy by doing business in this world, continue or stop this business. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Let us Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, our Ritvik is having a question. Ritvik, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you. Wonderful. Is amazing, eye-opening, and actually it's amazing, wonderful that this episode you feel it so much, so it makes us feel also. You know,
Maharaj, I am very, very far. I think where I am, it in this so much illusion surrounding.
Maharaj, one question comes to my mind. Certain times we address this issue that even good intention is not good enough, because ultimately comes down to the transcendental knowledge. In the same way, this attitude, as you described, the attitude is everything. So some connection with attitude and intention, because intention depends on the knowledge. I mean, so we may be intending for something horrible, and attitude, then it leads. So where is the place for something else after we are exposed to this beauty and the sublimity and the absolute nature of Krishna consciousness, and our status, means our fulfillment of the soul. If you say attitude is 100%, then person has this attitude of feeling that, oh, I have perfect attitudes, I am perfect. But ours is a path of not just attaining so-called perfection, self-acclaimed perfection, but keep on growing for further and further. How to get that attitude that I'm not perfect, but I have to again still keep trying to be perfect, and that the perfection is never reached, and that's the beauty of it. That regard, how to remain, keep excelling and keep progressive rather than becoming stagnant by, like Balram Prabhu asked the question, different aspirations of yogas, because they have this sense of perfection that they become stuck. But we are never stuck. We keep on evolving. If attitude is everything, how, if a person thinks that he has got good attitude, he has become perfect, how to help him out? It's a kind of paradoxical thing, but do we stop just as perfection, or our goal is to keep on going higher and higher and never think that we are ever perfect?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. I think I'm a very, very small person to answer such a deep thing. But we will never be perfect in a complete sense. I mean, if you assume 100 marks, nobody reaches 100 ever actually. So there is always further and further. What we are talking about, the perfection of human life when we talk about, is that we break even into other realm of ever increasingly becoming perfect. Like pass mark, we are talking about the pass marks. That is the perfection of human life. But perfection has no end. It keeps goes on, goes on. So therefore, at no point anybody can think perfect, because To think perfect is not perfect. So, and only way nobody can, we can only, the transformation comes only by introspection. We can only inspire introspection. We cannot transform anybody. So we can inspire introspection by our attitude. We can make others introspect and change themselves. It is not possible. If one accept to introspect himself, you know, when one stops introspection, then his journey is stopped, spiritual journey. So therefore, we should constantly inspire introspection. We should introspect ourselves also. We should, our behavior should be exemplary and inspire others also to inspire. It is a Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. The only way is Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya. Hear Bhagavatam from the Bhagavatas. That is the only medicine. That is the only way. So if someone is fortunate, Bhagyavana Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasad Paya Bhakti Latavi. So if one is fortunate, there is also an element of fortune also is there also, because they know our dynamics, inner dynamics, Guru and Krishna, and they have been giving us this opportunity, and we have been misusing this opportunity. So therefore, one should listen Bhagavat from Bhagavatas. And if one disconnects from Bhagavatas and has his own Bhagavat without changing one's attitude, and so therefore, then he will not see the Bhagavatam. Such a blunt message is giving in this episode, but still it doesn't get to the brain, and so therefore, we should listen Bhagavatam from Bhagavatas. We should listen Bhagavatam from the devotees. And when something is presented, some higher ideal, then what we are able to follow, and where we are, we should have the pleasure of accepting it as higher, and we should have the pleasure of whether we are able to follow or not. At least that appreciation should be there, that encouragement should be there. So by constantly discussing these topics, we can inspire introspection. When one starts introspecting, then Krishna is there in the heart, and his representatives are there outside. The examples are there in the real life, and the examples are there in Bhagavatam. But we should start introspecting, and all that we can do is inspire introspection. Maharaji, that's all I have. Please come forward to add if you want.
Um,
Add anything.
I had just a little humor adding to it, just to, because you said it when it would get to our brain. So just to get to my brain, I'm just reminding myself,
Hare Krishna.
you
You
know,
are very
that
humble.
yeah, because truly, who am I qualified to speak to? Means no, I can. I feel the mercy of Sri Guru and all the Vaishnavas, you all, that I can sometime I think I am telling myself, and other times I'm lost also. But the telling is about this attitude and perfection. That we are not aspiring for perfection, because whether I am perfect or not, it is Sri Gurus and Krishnas and other Vaishnavas or authorities' role. My attitude has to go beyond 100, because in this conventional world, we think he's 100%, and that's where we become stuck. If somebody calls me, I'm 100% pakka devotee, then I'm stuck there now. How to come out of that 100%? That's why one that we have to go beyond 100%. Why this humor I want to share, I shared before also. If we make the scale A equal to 1, B equal to 2, 3 equal to C, and A to Z, 26, and if you add the number of the words, letters, attitude, A, T, T, I, T, U, D, it adds up 100. So then a person, oh, I made it, but our path is that we can never afford to think that I have made it, even when one has made it, because it is ever increasing in fervor and a mood. It is obviously it's not. That's why I'm requesting Bhaktivedanta Institute to write some on this title, static ma, ecstatic bhava. To remain ecstatic, we cannot afford to feel, even think that I have perfect attitude. We have to keep moving and forward. So we have to target love of God that is more than 100.
Our devotional journey starts like this. We give our marks. In the beginning, I'm thinking I'm not at all a devotee. 0, 10, 20, 50, 80, 90, 100. Again, then come back. Then the real, after we think we are 100, then the real mercy comes. Then start falling. 10, 90, 80, 60, 70, 40, 30, 10, 0. Then we become Sanatana Goswami.
Yeah.
Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. So Mahaprabhu is saying you are 100, and our Goswami is saying I am 0, because people think I have landed, but I don't know who I am. Still, I am stuck. So he's giving just he's helping us. He's just helping us that people think I am very learned, but in fact is that I have not learned who I am yet. So to the literal meaning to it, I have still not learned who I am. I still in the abstract level. I am servant of Krishna, but I still don't know who I am, what servant I am of Krishna. So the people think I am giving very nice class, though people think I am very inspiring class, but still the fact remains that I still don't know who I am. So our Goswamis are helping us to remain fixed in our proper attitude, that this is there, that we don't know yet. And that is a proof that we are not perfect, for sure. This is this is a litmus test. This is a question. It is the final question we can ask. There are so many things we can verify our behavior, but last thing we can ask is that, do I know who I am? I don't know means my attitude is not yet perfect. Otherwise, when your attitude is perfect, we cannot hide our identity. It comes out. And Krishna brings out that because he loved to interact with us in that mood, in that identity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaji. Yeah, we have 3 questions in line. Yes, Ritwikji, please ask your question.
Maharaji, Dandavad Pranam.
Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji.
Maharaji, when an instruction is given by spiritual master, like in which way we have to do? Like we have many ways to do, but in which way actually spiritual master wants? Like there are many ways, but sometimes I'm confused. Like what spiritual master wants actually from me? Like I could not able to understand. Instruction will be given, but how I should complete it? Like you understood, Maharaji?
If it is not mentioned how to complete it, he is open for any way you do it. The prima facie understanding. But if you have a doubt, you can ask always. I am thinking to do in this way. Is this correct way? Right? That's why spiritual master is necessary to ask at every step. right? Like if spiritual master asks, bring ghee, bring honey. So if he doesn't ask you which brand, you don't need to worry. You go and bring whatever brand you think the best. Or you can also ask Guru Maharaj, which brand should I bring? Then he may tell. Or if spiritual master is very particular, he may tell, bring this brand. So we can use our common sense. We don't need to too much dig into that. Don't get bogged down by the inner meanings. Just be simple. You be simple. Even if you make mistakes, spiritual master will correct if your attitude is serving. But if our attitude is not serving to bunk seva, then that is another thing. But as long as our attitude is serving, you just use our common sense and work, function without digging deep. The things which spiritual master asks, do it. And if you have any doubt, ask simply. He will explain. No need to be in difficulty. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Maharaj ji. Nikhil ji, please ask your question.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dhanavad Pranam.
Dhanavad Pranam Prabhu.
So I want to ask is like these two questions I had previous calls. Like what is the definition of well-wisher and how to actually understand who is our well-wisher? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Sri Guru is your first well-wisher. Then Vaishnavas, right? And our parents, then our friends. In this way, these are subjective questions. It depends on the subject, the person whom we are dealing. So the things should be in line with Guru and Krishna. So Krishna is our real well-wisher. And Guru and Krishna are our real well-wishers. One who understands this, he will be peaceful. So there may be other well-wishers, but they have limitations. They are not in knowledge. So therefore, that may not lead to the peace in life. So though we understand they are really our well-wishers, but still they have limitation. Krishna is telling, Bhoktaram Yagnitapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. So Krishna is not only well-wisher, but also is in full knowledge and control. So as Sri Guru. But others, they are well-wishers, but have no full control or knowledge. And their being well-wisher also is influenced by their own purity. So that varies from time to time. It's not absolute. So you want absolute peace, happiness, then absolute well-wisher, Guru and Krishna. You want relative peace, then relative well-wishers. But everything may have some utility in some context. So we have to use our intelligence and common sense to utilize, to take advantage of the well-wishers. Advantage means to take advice from well-wishers and apply them without affecting our original well-wishers' directions. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj ji. Maybe we can conclude.
Maharaj, can we just 1 second, Sadhu? Can we say that we have to identify the capable well-wishers? well-wishers may have good intention, but it's not good enough. So who is capable to really deliver the ultimate good?
Yes, Maharaji. Just like I have a friend and he thinks I will be really happy by drinking wine. So now what I should do? He doesn't have any ill intention. He really thinks I will be happy like him if I drink. Just like there are so many well-wishers, they think I will be happy by getting married. There are so many well-wishers, they think I will be happy by doing nice job. And these are all good because they have experienced some happiness in that. Therefore, they think we will also happy, but they don't have the complete knowledge. And this episode is giving us the complete knowledge. So while we don't reject any well-wisher, we don't accept every well-wisher. Every well-wisher's every suggestion. So we have to see in the light of Guru Sadhu Shastra and stay at a safe distance. So if you think he's my well-wisher, okay, let me go and also drink, then gone. So we understand he's a well-wisher. We appreciate him. His real intention that we want to make me happy, but we'll say, no, thank you. Right? That means you are also in knowledge. That means. Otherwise, you say, okay, thank you. He's my well-wisher. He wants to make me happy. Let me go. That means we are also not in knowledge. So we should be in knowledge and see what is the best. We should see from the eyes of Guru and Krishna and say, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, comma, thank you. No, comma, thank you. Sorry, thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for your wonderful questions. And whatever I spoke also applies to me. I also on the same platform, but endeavoring for perfection, like all of you, just to alert ourselves and introspect ourselves. So there is nothing more to it. Thank you all, and we'll join tomorrow morning 8 o'clock. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Jagat Guru Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj
Jai.
Shila Shripad ki jai. Jai
Jai.
B.A. Bhakta Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Sai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.
Hari Hari Bol.
His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Rajput Maharaj ki jai. Thank
Jai,
you,
jai,
Anandal.
jai.
See you all in tomorrow's class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.